Hello, and welcome to another episode of Silver and Steel. I am here with your Tuesday night crew to bring you some much needed D&D joy on this evening and future Tuesday evenings.
For all time.
It's
We'll
true.
bring you joy for all time.
Except for 2 weeks at the end of this
Sounded
month
so
where we
good.
will be on vacation.
I
The
feel
rest
like
of
I
your
was,
Tuesdays are ours.
yeah.
Except
feel
for
like-
those days, with an asterisk.
Except for those
Except for
days.
certain alternating Thursdays and
Except for 2
Tuesdays.
weeks
What day?
during December.
But hey, you can watch the VODs though, and there'll still be joy. Yeah.
I think that was just a great audition for why I would be great at announcing that the Imperials now control a planet or colony. Like, I think this is my professional personal bid to be in the Star Wars universe as an Imperial officer.
I'm
So
just
if
saying,
there's any
you would
Star
rock,
Wars scouts in the chat,
you'd rock that like grayish navy bluish uniform
With
thing,
the
like
high
for real.
collar and the hat.
I just love the fact, Jasmine. I think you're the only other person I know that actively aspires to be an Imperial officer.
Oh, yeah.
Like me.
It's
Yeah. right.
That's life goals.
Yeah,
Life
yeah.
goals to be
Yeah.
like, the Death Star laser. Like, like
Just saying, I would be a highly effective mom. That's all I'm saying.
find
Sorry.
the Jedi.
I'm just saying.
Right?
So,
Bring him to us. Me,
yeah,
Dave.
she is part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor.
And here we were all working on really nice Mandalorian armor for you, Jasmine. I mean, what the hell? Make
Hey,
a
no los
side
dos.
already.
Okay, no, hey, if Moff Gideon can have the Darksaber, Moff Jasmine can have a suit
Right?
of Beskar.
Oh, they're
my
gonna get that dark
God.
saber.
Yeah, it's the same way the Jedi wore the clone
Yeah.
armor plating, with no helmets. Like you could rock that fan art. I know
She could
we're
also
here
be
doing
a
a
double
different game in a
agent.
different word, in a different world. Fan art of Jasmine in Imperial Navy uniform with Beskar plating. That is it. I'm done talking. Thank you.
Thank you, B Dave. You and I are always like in each other's brains, I feel
It's true.
like.
We
We have the singular artistic vision. This is why Motherlands wax.
And is awesome.
sorry, but on with the thing they paid us to do tonight.
yes, I apologize.
Let's play a West End Star Wars game, everyone.
Yay! I'll get my D6s. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
We're all
I think I have the app on my phone.
We're all just playing armorers now, and the armor just happens to look like very specific, not, not
Good.
Star Wars characters.
Well,
It's-
I did.
He's
just-
gone. He's
I- well,
gone. We lost B Dave. That's
No,
it.
in the process of joking about getting my D6s, I realized I didn't have these. But I did just play a Psy Knight Soul Knife multi-class. I channeled my inner Kelly.
Ooh.
It works really well. It
Very nice.
works
Very
really
nice.
well.
Were you
Tasha's
very
Cauldron
good
of
at destroying everything?
Available now on D&D Beyond.
You know what? To bring it back, one of the big things that is prevalent in where we are now, Port Argent, that just completely blew my mind with Mandalorian, since we were on the subject, is that is how I envision Port Argent. So if you're ever like, oh, what like, how it's like gray and salty and just like, that is how I envision it 100%. So that episode was like really cool because I was like, was I ahead of the curve? Because that's how I've always seen the city. So if you're ever like, oh, what would Port Argent look like if Bronze got an unlimited budget to make like, this great Silver and Steel movie, that it would be gray and salty, except instead of Mon Calamari, dwarves.
I'm here for it.
That is awesome. That actually really helps with my brain painting.
And
Well, I
it's
mean,
not
they
a
could be
sunny
mind flare
city.
dwarves, and they
Also-
could
It's
be
not
like
sunny.
There still could be frog people too. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this works.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
works.
lot
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
it's very cold and gray and salty. That's what it's. That's
There's
what
like
I imagine it smelling like.
Also,
Mm.
A bunch of
Tanya's in chat.
grung.
Thanks, Tanya. We're all consummate professionals here. Yeah. At least I fit in a D&D Beyond plug for Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. I tried.
Listen,
I tried.
if this isn't proof that we are a real D&D game, because what do you all do at the beginning of real D&D games? You do like chat for 20, 30, 40 minutes. Like this.
Hey, look,
this is just
I've
what we
even
do.
got French fries and Mountain Dew, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm literally
Yeah.
we're
you
just
hold
missing
them like you're
Doritos.
dipping them into the Mountain Dew.
Who says he's
kidding
not?
me?
What he does with his snacks is none of your business.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. I'm
Right?
playing my Jen Kretchmer card. Yeah,
You know,
stop it. Jen said
yeah.
I could.
Yeah, I'm not gonna judge because my chat got me to dip my French fries in my Wendy's Frosty, and at first I was like, "Y'all nasty," and then I tried it and I was like, Okay.
That's pretty
It
good.
does work. It does work.
It
Also,
does work.
I do not dip fries in Mountain Dew, but I might out of spite now because I was told I couldn't, just to be disagreeable.
Speaking of the opposite of disagreeable, let's introduce our cast. Lauren, take it away. Your big smile, I feel like, is the least disagreeable thing in the world. I love all of
True.
you, but
True.
that
But-
glowing smile.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm Lauren Urban. I'm here to play Orkira Uldrex, your Dragonborn cleric who has just been told by one god to go rescue another and is going to bring her third. So here we go.
Bring her.
Well, the Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix comes everywhere.
Oh, yes.
Standing
Huh.
right here. Wow.
Avren, I'm not talking about you.
Wow.
No, actually, things were like markedly better because you weren't there last time, but we'll get to that in a second.
Hurts.
One thing at a
Hurts so
time.
much.
Yep. Hope.
Hi, I'm Hope LaVelle. I'm playing Penelope Halfpint, your friendly halfling druid, Circle of the Moon.
I love it. It's my
Circle
favorite.
of the moon.
Meagan.
Hello, everybody. I'm Meagan Kenreck. I'll be playing Sofieus, who is a artillerist artificer. I have butter cannons.
Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen Kretchmer. I am playing Alyndra, your friendly neighborhood elf, wizard, cleric, diviner knowledge cleric.
But not a warlock.
Not a warlock this
Not a
week.
Yeah, I
no.
was listening this week. I was like, how does this happen?
I have to consciously hashtag not a warlock.
Todd.
I am a warlock. I play Avren. He does terrible things in the name of good, and also hot dogs.
And last but not least, B. Dave.
Did you get Megan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has
Oh.
butter cannons.
Oh,
I have butter
heard the
cannons.
butter cannons. That's true. I heard the butter cannons. You know what's funny? The reason why I zoned out is I literally was going through my mind of what not to say. I'm like, don't say this thing, don't say this thing, don't say this thing. But I remembered not to say the thing. B.
Good
Dave
job.
Walters. Hi. I say words about things at B. Dave Walters. I am the stunt Todd, and yeah, that's it. That's all. That's me. It's what I do.
That's accurate. People can never tell us apart.
It's weird. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the Parent Trap when you see us together.
Whenever
Yeah.
there's like a fight scene, they move one of us out and then puts the
Sure.
other one in, and
Movie
no one
magic.
ever knows. It's
Yeah.
kind of like this.
I want to know what bad things you've done for hot dogs. Because you did mention that.
all of it.
That's a whole other show. We need
Yep.
a whole other 2 hours for that. So
Yeah,
come
that's
back
fair.
for the Silver and Steel special. What Avren does for hot dogs in Port Argent.
Hot
Hashtag
dog
TED
edition.
Talks. I will just say
Yes.
this. I will just say this. While I did a good job of not saying the thing I wasn't supposed to say, at the end, we're going to be announcing some fun stuff. So I know you're going to hang out because you're going to enjoy this thrilling adventure we're about to go on. But stick around to the end because we're going to talk about some fun things.
And D&D.
I
And
now
also D&D.
have a Todd cover of What I Did for Love stuck in my head with What I Did for Hot Dogs.
Yep.
Mhm.
See, I went to meet
That
those
was
roots.
an earworm I didn't think I was gonna have when I
Mhm.
woke up this morning,
And yet here you are.
Welcome
and yet
to
here I
D&D.
am because it's Tuesday and it's Silver and Steel,
Yep.
and this is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you are a mighty Imperial officer.
Oh, yes. Hi. Hello. I'm Jasmine, that bronze girl Bhullar. And I am your DM for this wild and crazy ride. And the Imperial officer that plagues this wonderful group of Jedis. Maybe with an embedded double agent. Maybe I have B. Dave undercover in this party.
I'm
Which
just
feels
saying,
obvious.
when they met me, I was a mind flayer. So if I've
Yeah.
fooled them, it's really they have no one but themselves to blame.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited to get into some gameplay today. But I think first we actually have some fan art.
We do. We have a bunch of fan art because it's getting to that time of year. So first, Orkira has a headshot. This is from Bakus, who mixture of glee and terror, which is actually pretty accurate for Orkira on a regular basis. Is some kind of mixture of happiness and being really upset with everything. So thank you, Bakus. You're amazing.
How many oranges do you think you could fit in that maw?
Depends. Has someone cast enlarge on me and what my constitution is for that day. Also, Sawyer's is back, rounding out the cast that they've been making in I've just forgotten the name of the thing that they use, but this is Sir Biswalot, and we had questions last week, 2 weeks ago.
Should be destroyed.
How dare you?
Well,
Don't
not
you
about
dare.
whether
You've
they should
already
be-
tried to destroy him and it didn't work, so you
Listen,
can try.
that's a different question to be answered in game. I'm talking about the question of how do you spell Sir Biswalot? I don't know, Meagan, if you wanted to go into it, but I actually pulled up the specifics. If you
Did you pull up all of the names that everybody gave him? Because I lost that.
so Sir Barney Slimy Wriggles a Lot Ted is the full name of Sir Biswalot.
So I had to move a few letters around.
Yeah.
To let it
Bowles
roll
has as
off the
many
tongue a
names
little
as
easier.
Jen's Alyndra.
They're the worst parents. Look, Alyndra, they named the undead lich noodle more elaborately than they named you.
We didn't name him.
Aw.
You did.
Yeah,
That's on you.
that's true.
So
We
that's
all
on
came up with
you.
names, and they all
Be
got
destroyed.
So speaking of kit bashing names, this is from Only Play Wizards on Twitter, who created an Alyndra mini that look, Jen has.
Oh,
See,
wow.
all right. So we're showing off the pictures right now, and then when we come back to everybody, Jen will show off the real mini. So that's awesome. I love I love kit bashed minis mostly because I can't do that, and it's amazing. Oh, there we go. There she is.
That's so cool.
She's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, John kit bashed the kit bash Reason. So Reason is actually a spell book, and it's beautiful. She's gorgeous. I love her so much.
Yep. And one day we will play again in person, and you will be able to use that mini, and I'm excited. And then finally, I think we have our weekly joy from TTRPG Gifts, who it is just the joy of Daisy talking to her patron.
Yes.
With captions that you'll have to go listen to. Now, my favorite part of this whole thing is us giggling or trying not to giggle in the background as Daisy talks to her patron. But you'll definitely have to go check out TTRPG Gifts, who, as always, is awesome. So thank you, everybody, for all of the wonderful fan art and gifts and just everything. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And as a thank you, every single time myself or one of the cast rolls a nat 20 on this show, you have a chance of winning a legendary bundle courtesy of D&D Beyond. So you have plenty of incentives to stay tuned also to hear B Dave's awesome news at the end. And with that, hit the trailer, Will.
Follow the raven's call as darkness begins to fall. To test your faith, it's time for the diamonds to break and choose whose side you will take. Give in to the powers revealed and come make a deal with your silver seal.
It's not about anything. I just want
Still. And the steel helmet. Boom.
Yeah.
We're done.
All right. Before we get into our gameplay, I think we need to recap what happened on the episode last week for two of our players, as well as for the audience. You know what? I think Orkira should do it. Orkira, take it away.
Hi. Sorry, I was very distracted. I was thinking about a friend of mine in a really cool helmet. So at this moment, from the last time that we saw our heroes, I believe we're all flying back from a certain place. And Alyndra, you are flying with Orkira, and you are probably used to the fact that Orkira just prays out loud to her god. So as we're flying, Orkira starts to say, excuse me for a moment. Hi. No, I shouldn't close my eyes. We're flying. Sorry, I haven't kept you up to date. It's been super busy. 3 days, 4 days, 2 days. I don't remember. So we came here to help save Avren's hometown because there's a lot going on. There's this legendary sea serpent named Kretzala who's going to destroy the city. There's some evil force trying to help it, I think. we think. I don't know. There's like monster bones everywhere. And then Avren stopped being Daisy's patron and she found some other god and we were really worried about that. And I have to keep telling people I'm not a dragon and I'm failing miserably at all of this. And there's like other stuff, but those are the big issues. So we were helping Daisy defend the beach from like all these baby turtles that were on the beach because there were all these seagulls and it was really epic and kind of fun. And so she was all happy and was convinced to let us talk to her god. I hope you don't mind. I talked to another god again. So we met this other god and she seems really nice and we got her name, but I'm not going to say her name because apparently it's something that you do if you want to actually summon her, is you know her name and then you say it. And I'm kind of flying right now. And also I think it would be really rude to summon her. But her name means bravery, and Daisy calls her the Lady of Light. And she told us that this whole island is surrounded by a lot of world-ending worms, like more than just the one, but like a lot. And there's this magic barrier that usually keeps them all out, but then there's a hole in the magic barrier that's letting one in. And we got to go fix that because then they'll just keep coming. Also, she thinks we're being punished by being here. And so I kind of wanted to talk to you about that later. Anyway, also there's this turtle god who's Avren's new friend, and she said that the turtle god was in trouble because she can't breathe, and so we gotta go pick up Avren and Sofieus and go save her like now. So I wanted to like give you the heads up about what everything is going on, and then also I just kind of wanted to ask because I never actually asked, do you have another name besides just the Phoenix that I should know about? Because I really should know about that, and I feel kind of bad, but apparently I'm really bad with names. And Orkira will just continue to fly with Alyndra, like hoping that the Phoenix will answer.
You should mention to the Phoenix that we might be in purgatory or maybe one of the rings of Avernus, because she definitely said like this is like a cursed place that we're stuck in.
Yeah, no, I said it was a punishment. I don't know, like that feels weird, and I would think that the Phoenix would say something if I was being like outright punished, or you all shouldn't be punished for something that I was doing. But no, I said that. But this doesn't feel like Avernus. I mean, we've been there, and
I just don't see any way that Penelope would end up in a bad place.
Exactly. So this can't be a bad place because we're with Penelope.
So
anyway, thanks for listening, Alyndra. I appreciate it.
Okay.
I mean, okay, there was like a whole evil Penelope that was from Avernus. No, yeah, but that's not this one.
Difficult situations where evil Penelope and things.
I can be bad.
Wait a second. Penelope, wait.
Just let me try. I can do it.
Wait, have you been Neverember this entire time? Have you been the bad? Wait, did you bring us back to Avernus?
Maybe.
This can't be Avernus. There were cookies.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, no, there were no cookies in Avernus.
No cookies. Anyway, we should go get Avren and Sofieus. Do you think they're still in the place? They're still doing the council thing? Do you think we could just pull them out of the council thing and say that there's a turtle god in trouble?
I think we should probably decide amongst ourselves. Like, what if they decided like Avren is to be, I don't know, put in the stockades, whipped, beaten? We're all on the same page. We're super gonna let that happen, right?
Wait, what?
Like if they're gonna punish him for like all the stuff he super did. I watched him do it all. We're gonna like let him get punished, right? Like we want like when they're like off with his head, like okay, we gotta like do something. But if like otherwise, if they just like, you know, let people throw like vegetables and stuff at him or something.
Why? Why? Why?
Never mind. Okay, we'll pull him out of the meeting.
Certainly, if you should be held accountable for your actions. So if Avren is going to be, if someone is holding him responsible for his actions, I have no problem with that.
Avren's gonna get punished? No, we gotta help him.
I got the sense from the Lady of Light that she thought that we were all being punished for something that wasn't fair, and that's why she was helping us. And so it wasn't just him, it was like all of us. Which I still think is weird because, once again, You don't punish someone and give them cookies.
Remember, Avren is from here and brought all of us here. Like, maybe we're not being punished at all. Maybe it was
So
him
is-
this entire
Do you
time.
think he's an executor of justice?
The opposite.
Do you think that he's being punished by having a hangout with us?
The opposite.
Oh.
Really, I think it's Sofieus is the one that's really suffering. I don't know. We'll ask them when we get there. It's fine. I mean, this is better off than her being a tree, I guess.
She's more mobile, at least. It'll be easier to go down and save the turtle.
Presumably. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know how we're
as you're
getting.
flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think last time Penelope had turned into a giant bird, I think a giant eagle, and was carrying Freely, and Orkira was carrying Alyndra. And so as you're landing near the town hall is just letting out. Sofieus, Avren, you've just been in a very long, grueling meeting discussing how the last project for the boat went. They were successfully able to coat most of it in flail snail secretions. So it actually has a pretty good anti-magic shield now. So that's a fun little fact. It went well. I rolled for the NPCs off camera because you tasked a different group of people for doing it. And so yeah, some town folks successfully returned and oversaw like coating it with these like flail snail sort of secretions to give it like a harder hull. So when you come upon Sofieus and Avren, they're being sort of like talked at, I don't want to say talked to, by a tiefling. She has lavender skin. Her horns are like bull horns. They come out on the side. She's wearing an apron and feverishly taking notes. And she I guess like Sofieus and Avren, you would know her as Leilana, the boat architect. And she's
Okay.
just kind of like, well, I'm doing my best with what I have. It's very difficult.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm trying.
Is there anything that we can do to help speed up the process of coating this boat in the flail snail
I have two
excrement?
hands. 2 hands I have.
Well, how many orphans do we have, like, on hand? Like, no, I'm kidding. I did meet one kid that was really, really, really terrible to Daisy. So maybe he could use.
You want to make
no.
the boat out of orphans?
Oh, I didn't think about that. I mean, no. But
And it's like mid-conversation that the rest of you kind of land.
I place Alyndra next to Avren because she's got the map where the turtle is.
Mhm.
And out of breath because I've been praying to the Phoenix out loud this entire time, she will say, "We gotta go save your turtle god."
oh, okay. Yep. I think the boat's going really, really well. I love the
What do you
spackle.
mean you think it's going well?
I
When
mean,
we were in there,
right. Well, I mean,
you had so much to say.
that's true. I do
This
have a lot to
is
say.
Dumb
That's,
idea.
that's true.
This is stupid sale.
Well, let's disagree. and
I'm
commit,
working
though.
with what I have.
No. I think it's great.
Well,
I think it's great.
you criticize a lot, so maybe you've got some idea, yeah? And she like kind of looks at the rest of you now too.
I gently elbow Alyndra.
And she has a very like
I'm sorry.
sullen
You're
look on her
trying to
face.
you're trying to assemble the boat as quickly as possible to try and place it. May I see the plans?
Mm. And she like
Uh,
kind of lays them out to you.
I
This
take a look. Is there anything I can do that I can see as a way to accelerate what they're doing?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
This is Falva's breath they're trying to plate.
Yeah.
Okay. So theoretically, this is the woman that built the, or at least designed the objectively crappy boat.
I don't think it's fair to say it was crappy. It's a great boat, but not a good war boat.
It's a display boat.
Yeah.
I have a
It's-
23 on that roll.
Yeah. Leilana only usually designs fishing boats.
It's a parade
Um,
float boat, literally a float.
Yeah.
Float.
So with a 23, you get a very interesting idea, which is that the thing that's causing them the most trouble is the viscosity this like sort of substance. So you suggest to Leilana maybe mixing it with a solvent and brushing it on. A really strong solvent would help it go on easier, thin it so
Perhaps
that
they
way
could
when
talk
it
to
dries.
Sal, and maybe there's a high-proof alcohol that they could mix it with, and that would thin it long enough for them to apply it, and then it would dry quickly.
Well,
With
also your
evaporation.
mother knows a lot about slime and stuff like that.
Well, then she should have raised this idea.
Well, she's gonna be busy saving your turtle god. We gotta go save the turtle god. No, do you have the map where that shows? Where
I do. In any case, I think that might be a way to get this moving faster. And Avren, we need you right now, please.
And Sofieus.
Right, so
Well,
we're finding
I
turtles.
appreciate feedback. Yeah,
Absolutely. And wonderful work.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Good feedback. I like.
Turtle God.
Turtle god. Yeah, thank you.
All right, awkward. Let's go.
Much farewell. And she
Yeah,
just
much
kind of like
Hi.
waves.
We
No,
are gonna-
Avren, we gotta go save your god.
Yeah, another god told
Not
us
really
to
my
go.
god.
Well, I mean, she's
Turtle
been
I
talking
happen
to you.
know.
Yeah, okay, we've agreed to see other gods, but no, this one like asked you in particular for help, and then another god told us she's still in trouble.
Yeah.
So maybe, hey, wait, hang on. We tried the prayer thing, didn't quite work, but maybe there's another way you can try and like reach out and see if you can maybe you can like find out something that will help us.
Yeah. Let me try that. I'm just gonna sit down here for a minute. I just kind of like stare up in the sky. Wait, no, he wouldn't be up there. Stare at the ocean, and I think real hard about turtle stuff. I'm like, I just try to get like the overall sense of like the vibration that came
Yeah.
off of the statue.
Give me a nature check. Actually,
Oh no,
we're thinking hard about turtle stuff.
it's true.
I put my hand on his shoulder and I'm like, Avren, you got this. Bardic inspiration. So
Oh,
I had a D6.
Sorry for my slowness. It's my nature is a bit rusty. And then I get a D6. Oh, there it goes. And so far it's a 16. I'm going with the D6. Apologize. And then it is a total of it's a dirty 20 altogether.
A dirty 20. Okay, so as you're like let me just so I know what you're doing. Are you trying to commune with
Yeah, kind of.
mhm.
Yeah. But like not in a worshipy kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you're like sitting there staring at the ocean, like trying really hard to think about turtley stuff, you do get like a sort of a brief like vision, like you're looking through the eyes of a turtle. A flock of them, baby turtles, that are confused and disoriented because they were recently chucked into the ocean with great force. And you see that there is like amongst like this like sort of flock, I don't know, that's riding through the undercurrents. You get a sense of like dread, urgency, fear, uncertainty, and a general impending sort of like anxiety.
Is there anything under the ocean that indicates like there's a cliff under the water that's slowly going up to indicate where land might be? Like where I could kind of be like, you know what, this might be near this hill or this mountain or this cliffside.
Are you trying to like figure out where the spot is relative to like where Freely pointed out to you on the map, or
Yeah, I absolutely would. If like just examining the coast of it, and if I can kind of put it together, because I've probably been under the ocean a few times. Well, I mean, not like a lot, but yeah.
Give me a survival roll with advantage since you rolled so well on your nature check.
Oh, weird. I actually have this. It is a total of 18.
So with an 18, as you're sitting here staring at this map, you realize that the spot that is blue used to be an island. You remember it. It's like, this is your hometown. It's something that's like really far in the back of your brain. But you remember that there used to be a large piece of land there, an island that was marked on almost every map. And on this map, it's blue. And you think you remember a part of sort of like a small peninsula not far from where you are, probably half a day's journey, that reaches out pretty close to where this island was.
And now he will spend a moment and be in really hardcore communion with the turtle, with a very intense look on his face.
Nice save.
And
I mean, usually,
Freely, this map you got here.
Oh, that was frightening.
it's their best lot. Smite.
Don't take your eyes off me again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do I get? Can I control this turtle anyway? Can I look behind me while this is all happening to me, or am I just along for the ride?
You're kind of on rails because you're riding like a slipstream or a underwater current.
My level of panic, is it like several feet away from me, or is it like something that's like a mile away from me?
It's more of like it's not panic about any one thing in particular. It's not like directional. It's more so just having come out of a traumatizing situation into an ocean that doesn't feel safe to you. You're eager to make a home, I guess, is the easiest way to put it.
All right, I try to pop out of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you shake yourself free. It's almost like, and to everyone else, this happens very quickly. It's like half a second. But to Avren, it feels like you were hanging out with these baby turtles for maybe, a little bit longer than that.
Hey, so I talked to the turtles, and I think I know where they are, actually. They're going to an island that is no longer there, which means the island may literally not be there anymore. Freely, do you have your map again?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's everybody's map, and just sort of like so smooth it out there.
Sure. Yeah. It's the whole town's map. Everyone gets to own the map. The map right here. Right here, there used to be an island when I was growing up. It's not here now, and this is where the turtles are heading. So it's kind of funny. Typically, I don't know about your backgrounds, but when an island just disappears, something bad usually happened, or it was like a dragon turtle or something. But like there was an island there.
Would it be underwater now?
It might be underwater, but I mean, a lot of things can make land disappear. So I'm curious that the turtles are heading there, though.
Well, the Lady of Light said the reason was because the turtle god can't breathe.
Who?
Oh, we met Daisy's god.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
very nice.
Okay. Well, that's may lead with that next time. Okay. Well, was she nice?
Yeah, really nice. We got her name. She seemed to, know a lot about the island. We completely went along the way, but I thought the imminent thing was Turtle God can't breathe, needs help.
No, I'm with you on this. We can talk. Right. We can walk and talk, or
yeah,
boat
let's
and
do
talk.
The walk and talk. Great job on the boat. We're really it's super impressive. Just keep on spackling all that snail slime, and it's really gonna come together. It's really gonna bring the whole boat together. So really appreciate that. I gotta see a man about a turtle. So.
Are we
Leilana like crosses her arms and like taps her foot. You hear her grumbling about someone shoddily putting her sail back together. She like
someone put her sail back together wrong?
No, I was impeccable work from excellent craftsmanship. Yeah, we should go.
Dude, that looks like some shoddy mending spells. Who did that?
Listen, I was in a hurry, okay? Really good job. Also,
you see her kind of like whirl. You did?
I'm going. Bye. We're saving a turtle god. And I'm like trying to usher everybody in the direction of where.
Thank you, Leilana. You're very resourceful.
Because the sound she makes is she like looks at the sail that's like laid down in front of her.
That boat was a death trap. Just leave. Yeah.
Well, now it's going to be a death trap spackled in snail slime, and it's going to be very pretty. But yeah, so
But now it's immune to magic, so it it may not be immune to the ocean, but fireballs can't do nothing.
Does that mean when it's damaged, we can't mend it?
Clarify. I didn't say it's immune to magic. I said it has good anti-magic defense. And maybe.
Oh, I'm saying it's immune.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
want to
like-
make sure I didn't give you bad information.
I'm like,
No.
we killed like 6 of those things. They were not immune. Trust me.
DM hands out magic immunity boats.
It's true.
But they all
We
look
just
like
now have
swans.
anti-magic zones everywhere we want to go.
True.
We just make armor out of it.
You know, if we just walked around with all these anti-magic zones, there would just be like a sharp uptick in just ogres with uprooted trees smashing us in the face everywhere we went. We're like, they're not using spells.
So strange. There was another spell plague.
Bizarre. Something like, are we trying to take Salome's capsule walker sphere thing there? I mean, she's still working on it. Are we taking one of the fishing boats? We can't
So,
take Falva's
is it-
breath.
Is it possible to send one of the familiars to go see if there's something under the water or not? To figure out if we should be going under the water or not?
I mean, how's Sir Bislot doing? Is he functional? Can he swim still?
Sofieus is just carrying around a small cauldron that has one tentacle in it that is growing very slowly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna
That-
set that one and forget it.
He will be with us in a few hours.
I would just like to say, I got a huge giggle out of you saying a flock of turtles. And then I checked, I didn't know what a group of turtles. It's apparently a bale of turtles.
Oh,
A bale of
turtles.
turtles.
There you
I
go.
said flock.
As if you saw me crack it up, I literally was like a flock of turtles.
I went with
I
that.
do like
I'm fine with
I
it.
do like a flock of turtles.
Yeah.
You know what?
Great.
In this world, it's a flock of turtles.
That doesn't sound
you
right.
can
That sounds
fly
like a
underwater.
bale of
Or-
turtles.
We have a bale of seagulls.
There you go.
Okay.
And
So
Well,
there's
I'm
something
glad-
there about bailing us out.
It's true.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
We're on the way.
Griff swim? Can Grant swim?
Let's see if Grant can swim. Grant is fairly resourceful. And if not, I can have Griff take a form where they can swim.
Roughly how far is this off the coast? Like a missing island? It must be some ways. Otherwise, people would be like, there was an island and now there isn't. So, like, roughly how far to the island? Roughly how far to Hank?
hmm So from the map, like I said, it's about half a day's journey
Oh wow.
along the coastline. Sort of the opposite of the direction that you go when you go to Millie's. Usually you go north. This time you'd be going south. East is where the Black Rock sort of like a city is that you went to. East is also the direction of the swamp, or not the swamp, the bog, the
Salt.
dried up
Oh,
lake.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And northeast is the direction of the swamp we talked about, just to give you all a sort of idea. If you go south, there is a peninsula, and that is what Avren remembers as being the closest to where this island would have been.
Well, we don't have half a day right now because that's a full day to get there and back, and we're supposed to meet Hank tonight. So I guess we go see Hank and then set out there.
Oh, she can't breathe.
Yeah.
I agree
No.
with
I mean,
Penelope.
something's
Can we
dying.
send a message to Hank? And
But Kretsala will kill us all. She'll wipe out the town.
But the
don't
turtle
you think
lady.
having the aid of a couple of gods might be valuable in a situation where we have Kretzalo coming at us?
Also, didn't the Lady of Light say that the turtle god was how we were going to find out all the information about Kretzala? Like, she knew way more about all of that, including the
Yes.
hole in the magic wall and all the other worms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Avren, do you know that your entire world is surrounded by worms?
Oh, you did?
Maybe lead with that
Didn't
next time.
think this was salient information to share?
Sorry. I'm getting a sending. I think.
Okay,
Second. not quite.
After those 25 words, you can answer the question.
Well, by worms, what do we mean exactly? Because I feel like everyone's surrounded by worms.
The serpent type, the creatures that Kratsala is. They're all around. They're kept out by a magic barrier, which apparently has a hole in it, which is what's allowing these creatures to come through.
DM, did I know?
This is something that, okay, so this is a long and varied existence. It might have been something that you knew at one point, but now that you're thinking about it, it's not something that's often discussed. Like in your town, it's just one of those things where it's like people don't really talk about it, or you know, you think they would talk about it more if you were surrounded by giant sea serpents.
Also, I probably was like tending towards caution and not panicking everyone about the fact they're surrounded by worms, right? All these years, so it's just like, well, why bring it up?
Sophia's
Okay.
is looking
We're
at
surrounded
the
by a void of space. We
tentacle
just
and
don't talk about it that often because it just is a constant.
Yeah.
What was
I
that,
think the
Meagan?
best way to put this is that for Avren, this was probably like a creation myth.
Okay, yeah.
And that's kind of how it registered to your ears as well. It was very much almost like a Garden of Eden type of story. Like, this is how this land was created. And so it's one of those things that people believe in, but do they really?
So this is sort of what I specialize in, is myth.
Mhm.
I'm often pretty good at discerning truth, like kernels of truth in myth.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can get out of this to help distinguish the degree to which this is a literal situation or a metaphorical or a, tell the children there's something under the bed sort of situation?
Yeah. Give me an insight check.
Yeah, so there may have been a situation. Yeah, the whole town may be surrounded by worms, but that seemed like it was kind of like, I don't know. I'm not entirely 100% sure. I didn't really explore that. People say a lot of weird things, right? Don't trick the gods and don't make a deal with Asmodeus. These are just kind of guidelines. So when someone says like you're surrounded by worms, I'm like, yeah, maybe. Maybe not.
Don't make a deal with Asmodeus, less of a guideline, more of a basic.
I turned out fine. So
Did you?
that hurts, Penelope. Circle of the moon.
17.
Okay. So with the 17, yeah, it's one of those situations where you think some of it probably is real. But it's hard for you to tell how much of it is people not wanting to scare their kids or how much of it is just lost to history. Almost like the way religions or gods get forgotten. A lot of this kind of is the same to you. It feels like people have less so tried to ignore it and more so just forgotten about it because it doesn't affect them. Even as you look around you, you realize that like the people of Port Argent, they don't seem to be very religious types. They don't talk about gods very often. They don't carry a lot of religious symbols. So it doesn't surprise you that they don't kind of sit and talk about these myths and legends with any kind of reverence. They're more interested in science and innovation and industry. The other part that sticks out to your mind is Daisy saying like, well, I was born here, like she doesn't view being here as a punishment. This is her home. And it makes you wonder if when you grow up somewhere, if people really wonder about where the land they're standing on came from. Kind of like that, if it makes sense. A lot of the people here are very far removed from it. But you don't have reason to believe that it's all fake. And in fact, even when you were talking to Daisy's patron, you definitely got the sense that she didn't have a reason to fabricate something like that. At least she believes it's real.
Now,
So
freely,
is there... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Now, freely, I do want to say, if we are surrounded by giant worm creatures, primordial beings of that mass destruction, and they find out that you've been picking on Sir Biss a lot, they're going to be very mad with you. Just saying.
He just looks in like the sword just slowly slides out of his arm. Not like the fast one, just like.
Don't worry, Freely. As someone who prays to a primordial being of mass destruction, I'll help you out. I'll vouch for you.
Thank you. Also, I met the Phoenix. I thought they were very nice.
They were.
Can I, while we're presumably by the shore for all of this, can I activate the speaking stone for Hank?
Yeah.
If we're not coming, I'd like to give him a heads up because we booked this 2 days ago.
Mhm.
Or at least warn him we might be late. I mean,
I don't want to ghost Hank.
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Yep, I would like to do that.
Of course. So you you send him a message?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. The way the stone worked, it was he knew we were calling him, but he had to come in person, or were we able to transmit?
Yeah, he usually came in person. So he gave it to Callie, and it's like a heart-shaped piece of ocean glass, and it would kind of like reflect the light off the ocean in such a way. However, I think you also kind of put together that Orkira knows sending. So and now Orkira has also met Hank. So sending a message.
Oh, if you just send him a message.
Very easy.
I thought sending
Before
was
this was a
right. Yeah, right. I thought,
communication was a gargantuan task, but now we have email.
got it. Yeah, we were doing faxes like schmucks.
Yeah, no, Callie literally wrote a letter and gave it to Millie to hand deliver to Hank, and now
It's
we
true.
have email.
Started from the bottom.
Just-
Now we're here. Yeah.
Just one quick piece of concern with this. We do know that there's conflict between Hank's people and the people of the land. Is it going to be seen as going back on an agreement?
Oh, like a ceasefire?
Yes, or just is it? I don't know how common it is for Hank's people to have dealings with the people of the land at all, and so agreeing to go and then saying sorry we can't make it, like is that going to be a problem? Because I wouldn't.
Yeah, based off of what Freely has told you about how many times they've had to kind of put things off with Hank. You would also know that he's never been particularly upset by any of it. Yeah.
Also, I'm assuming. Sorry.
Yeah. No, go for it.
I'm assuming, and Orkira will say this. I'm assuming we're gonna tell Hank what's going on. I mean, if we tell him, hey, because he seemed to like the turtle god, and I would assume if we said, "Turtle god's in trouble, we're helping out. We might be late to your meeting." Like it's not like we're going to dinner and just got out late. We're saving a turtle god.
No, and
a god is literally needs to breathe. It's asks for our help. Like, we don't need to be concerned with these niceties. Just let them know that we are running to its aid.
I mean, Alyndra, I think it's good to think about that kind of stuff, but I would like to think Hank would be okay.
Well, he'll get to reply to your sending, but yeah, I think it's valuable because the whole thing is we asked them to, ally with us against a common enemy, and it's true. We keep backpedaling, but that's all right. We're gonna save the turtle god. It's fine. Yeah, go ahead. 25 words. I believe in you.
Okay. Yeah. I can do this, but then I can't do this anymore today because I need to save a little bit in case one of you dies. And Orkira will cast sending. And I looked this up earlier. Fortunately, I am able to understand Hank and he is able to understand me with sending. I don't need to speak the same language because I know, or because Orkira does not speak Hank's language. So, but sending fixes all of that. So she will cast sending and she will say, God, this is always so hard.
You got this.
You got less characters than Twitter.
Well, I will say
The problem is not me. The problem is Orkira. She is so dumb.
To completely stall while you're coming up with your 25 words. While Orkira, I know what Akira's doing. I check in on Machete. Like, same thing. Is she any more animated?
Yeah. She's kind of like moving now. But she still doesn't seem to display the level of personality that she used to.
Yep.
Oh no.
That's all right. she'll get it back. It's okay. She's just adjusting to the new normal.
Yeah.
Oh, so she
Orkira
may never
just
get back.
fixed her. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, she's less chatty, but she's also less, evil. So that's got to feel good, I guess.
And murderous. Less
murdering.
murderous.
Less.
It's always good to have less murdering.
Well, the chances are low, but never zero. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is this all going on while Orkira is casting Sending?
Oh yeah. That was just.
Oh dear. Okay.
I was shamelessly stalling for you to get your 25 words ready.
I totally appreciate that. So this is the Sending.
Mhm.
This is Orkira. We're supposed to meet you tonight, but we're saving a turtle god. No, Machete's gonna be fine. It's just she's less murdery. I'll let you know if there's more going on. And that's her Sending.
Okay.
Did he hear us in the background?
Sure,
Background noise.
she's sending this message to Hank, and in the
It's like
background, you're all
it's like
talking
leaving a voicemail.
Yep.
Yep,
We're like, Orkira, is Machete gonna be okay?
because like praying to her god, Orkira says all of her sendings out loud, so you would have all heard that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, the message goes off with all of the background noise included. I don't think Hank actually has a way to send anything back, but
He actually
yeah,
can.
he replies.
Sending means that he
Oh.
knows. So blah blah blah. The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. The spell enables creatures with an intelligence score of at least 1 to understand the meaning of your message,
Okay.
which is why we don't blah blah blah. And he gets 25 words or less.
okay. So he sends back, let me count this. You get a message back, and it says, understood. I will, trying to make sure, I will wait for you at the chosen spot 2 days from now. Good luck.
Okay, he said he wishes us luck. He's gonna wait for us at the chosen spot 2 days from now. I assume someone knows where the chosen spot is.
Yes, we had a location on the beach, correct?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
kind of the same spot Freely and Sophius and Avren have always kind of met Hank at. It's a place where they first met when he was caught in a fishing net.
So romantic.
And intended to kill us all.
where Hank taught Kelly how to cook oysters. If I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
and pull apart Chonker's brother.
Yeah.
And how to love.
Wait.
That's
Yeah.
that's a different story for a different time.
Yeah.
This close to naming one of those episodes Shape of Water.
We al-
There's still
yeah, we
time,
almost
'cause
did.
apparently we're about to spend a lot of time in the ocean, so there's still time.
There's still a
but yeah.
chance.
He didn't sound upset.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I would know what it would sound like if a married was upset. I don't know. Anyway. he
Oh
said-
no, when we were with him, he did this like thing, and it was like a cannon of water. Like I feel like he'd get across if he was mad.
Okay. I mean, he can't do that through ascending unless that's a part of a spell I don't know. But yeah, 2 days, same spot. We're all fine.
Man, 2 days. It's just, this poor guy. We've been stringing him along for like a week. Sal.
Yeah, this is like when you say you're going to hang out with your friend, and then you're like, oh, okay, another 2 days from now.
Oh, I just got busy. I've got a lot on my plate, Yeah, right.
Hank,
We're-
luckily for you, I feel like Hank has a lot on his plate too. Every time you see him, he's usually like on his way to something or on his way back from something. So
It's true.
he was probably a little relieved for your cancellation.
That's a mood. Okay. Try and find Salome. Is this thing ready to ship? Is this ready to deploy?
Yeah. Yeah, she is at the inn, but there is a note on the ocean, whatever, I don't know what we called it. Ocean hamster ball.
Dave.
Dave.
Dave was the leading name. It didn't.
Orkira
Oh, is
names
that
things
the
by just
leading name?
I
continuing
didn't.
to
It was
call
not my. I didn't think of calling it Dave. It wasn't me.
I said Dave. I think Dave is a perfectly good name, and nobody argued with me. I mean, it was the same thing with the airship. I called it Murray, and everybody thought that was a good name because nobody argued with me. And so it's called
I mean,
Dave.
sometimes it's a good name. Sometimes we're being nice. You know.
I like Dave.
Okay. Fine, we're calling it Dave now.
And it's a submarine with a sort of exoskeleton that's charged by an arcane battery, correct?
Sort of, yeah. It's actually a ball that's inside another ball. So that it's very gyroscopic in nature. So that when the outer sort of like round cage moves, the cage inside that you're in doesn't rotate. So you're not bouncing around in there.
So we are in a hamster
It
ball.
has gyroscopic stability.
Yeah.
I'll put one in chat,
Oh,
Megan.
also, it may explode. That was one of the things we discussed, and Salome really seemed to cling on to, that maybe we're going to feed it to Kretsala and detonate it, which I feel like will cause a lot of different problems for us, but it was on...
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you had talked about packing it full of explosives. Yeah.
yeah.
for the
Sophius,
record, I was kind of against that.
Sophius, you said you had a lot of explosives to offer, but I don't think we've done that yet.
Well, I might be able to help make this sea vessel slightly more explosive. I have a force ballista. I might be able to fashion it onto the outside of the outer exoskeleton. As we get closer to this creature, I could detonate it.
Yeah, I
Oh my
mean,
God.
go big or go home, right? You know, if you're going to explode, explode. Big.
Yes.
Explode big or go
Wait,
home.
so are we
We're
going
not.
towards the turtle or are we going towards the worm?
Turtle God.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if we need a way to get to the turtle God, so that's why this was our
Yes.
vessel.
I was just trying to make sure we weren't exploding the turtle god. I mean,
No.
we
I
can.
mean, whoa, let's keep all the options on the table, okay?
Okay, I'm a pretty bad person. But blowing up turtles
worth,
isn't really in that swim lane.
Is
Not
it
making
worth
fun.
sending the familiars ahead? I could have, once we get to the water, I can have Griff turn into a quipper.
Oh, what?
It's
A
half a
quipper.
day's
It's
travel.
it's carnivorous fish.
I mean, it's half a day's travel. Can you communicate with him from that far?
Well, actually, okay, so the half a day's travel is along the peninsula by foot or horse-drawn carriage. If you were to use the ocean route, well, there's actually a different skill roll I would have for that, which is actually kind of fun, a piloting skill. You could get there much faster.
Personally, I've been saying from the beginning I wanted to test this out before fighting the iconic lightning worm in it, so I'm
Yeah.
putting my money on the oceanic route.
I can also try and use clairvoyance since we know where it is, but it's going to be a single location. I'm not going to be able to move that around. So
I think all these are really good ideas. How dangerous is it for Griff, and how judgy will he look as a kipper?
extremely judgy.
Okay, good.
Extremely judgy. Even the pointy teeth will be judgy.
Okay.
But also, it depends. It's the same degree of defensiveness underwater as Griff would have in the air.
Doesn't cost us anything to send him, so sure, send him. And
All right.
Freely just like walks up to the thing and I just slap the side of it and I'm like, so Sofieus, you know how to pilot this thing, right? You do machine stuff. I mean, I kind of am partly one, but I don't, it's kind of the extent of my expertise.
Yes, usually. I don't really like inverted steering though. I will get the hang of it though. It is, yeah, I can take care of this.
You
Sofieus?
also could, in
got
fact,
this.
an octopus is probably a better plan here. We'll do an octopus instead. We'll have judgy tentacles instead of judgy.
Penelope, are you
Also-
going to ride inside with us or are you going to be a judgy octopus on the outside?
Oh, yeah, I'm a little tapped out of my wild shape, so I'll be riding with you guys.
Yeah, it's been a day, man.
Yeah.
We found that foot this morning. Like, what even are our lives? Like, I'm just like crawling up into it. I'm all like, yeah, ancient dismembered god buried in a farming field. Why wouldn't that be? And then just down into the airlock.
Oh man, guys, I'm really tapped out on my wild shape. Can we just? That's my favorite.
Can we
thing.
just like rest for 4 hours?
just 1 hour.
There's a god
Short rest.
drowning. We don't have really time to like just chill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Drowning god.
Sir Biswalat might be able to go ahead. He is basically one long tentacle with a big black eyeball at the end currently, but it doesn't mean that he can't fly or swim.
It doesn't? Okay.
I've seen him squiggle around before with less of his body, so I will send him forward.
Well, he maybe the two of them can go together. Griff and Service Walat, and they could be a pair,
Yes.
and they could look out for danger and help and go on a little adventure that we'll hear about later, which will be really kind of cute.
Yes, I think they will become best friends.
You see Griff just in their bulbous head with the two eyes just kind of go.
I just envisioned that again, that eye stalk that came out of the trash compactor on the Death Star. Like that's what I'm envisioning. Sir Bisqualat is now.
Basically.
An Act 1 callback, folks. Act 1
He's like
callback.
a tentacle puppy, and Griff is like a tentacle cat.
Do you think once the inner, because they go in the first airlock and the second airlock opens up, you hear Freely being like, it's deceptively spacious in here. It's the spherical aesthetic is quite, and it just shuts on him mid-sentence while he's inside.
Yeah. So Freely, when you step inside, this has all of the feelings of Salome's workshop. Like as you step inside, it's like kind of homey in a lot of ways, but it also has some of the flair of our purple hot pantsed twins.
Oh,
So when you step inside, there's like, a lot of like plush purple, velvety, like accoutrements. There's these like sort of seats that have been affixed to the sides of the vessel. There's a station that you can drive from. There's like these nice little straps that come over your shoulders, in case of bumpy riding. There is oh gosh, what are those things called? Periscope. There's like a little periscope that pulls down that you can like look in through. There's even a little tea nook, which looks similar to the one in Salome's office. There's like a little nook in the corner. You could replace it with something more useful in the future, but for now it's there's just like a little place. There's just a kettle, a drawer with some different types of teas in it, and cups that kind of rest on these like hooks underneath. So it's like a little shelf. I shouldn't say it's like an entire place, but there's like a little shelf there. Yeah.
Salome was always very non-committal about the defensive abilities of this thing, so that's what Freely's looking for, like the weapons or how to activate like the electrified field. I mean, like he's looking for like, where's a red button that says emergencies only? It's where he's like,
Yeah, looking around it is a little bit frustrating, Freely, because as you're looking around, you feel like this is a exploration vessel. And it dawns on you that asking an explorer to build a defensive vessel has some of its drawbacks. In terms of research and reconnaissance, if you were deep sea oceanographers, you would feel at home in this thing. It's perfect for that.
How has Salome managed to go so many places and live so long?
Well, I mean, this is nicer than most spelljammers we've inhabited, so that's nice. I mean, there's like tea.
I like the purple aesthetic. Harold would think this is awesome.
Oh God! Wait, which one's Harold? Is he the one with the giant arm?
It's your second favorite warlock.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Harold is.
You know what? Wait a second. Daisy's no longer one of your warlocks. I'm still number one, baby. Woo!
Some choices you can't take back. Eventually, it just sticks, and you're just stuck with that warlock forever.
So you said that there were seats all over in this sphere.
Yeah, they're kind of like I shouldn't say bolted. They're braced against the circular sort of one side of this like sphere that's opposite from the piloting station. And like I said, they have straps so that if you jolt, you don't go flying out of your chair. And they have to be kind of secured or against the wall, because you get the feeling that from just the force and inertia, they would shift if you move them around. The other thing, I guess, Freely, since you were looking for weapons, you would notice two things. There is an engine control panel. It's very big. It's very complicated. When you open it, it has like a mixture of crystals, different vials of liquid, and some intricate cog and wiring work inside of there. And there's also a valve that you can pull forward and place fuel into, and then you shut it. And then like you push a lever, very Ghostbusters-y.
Is this where the poop thing, where the poop chute?
Yeah, that's where you would feed fuel into it. And then next to it, you do see behind a very carefully sort of glass crafted panel that you have to pull up, but you see it like behind it. You don't have to break it, but you do have to flip it up because it's like one of those safety switches. A big red button marked overcharge. And you think that this might be what she said. You can overcharge the engine to electrify the exoskeleton.
Really? No.
Soon.
Later. You will be
Soon.
the one to touch that button, but not now. Can you check how much fuel and oil is in the reserves?
When you check the fuel gauge, Salome did give it to you full.
Thank you, Salome.
Alyndra, I am but a humble halfling of action. There's a number of gauges and crystals and doodads here. I found the important button. Pretty sure something good happens when we hit that. The rest of this, I'm kind of...
How much of this can I figure out? Machines are not my thing. So I know what Salome was telling us, but I don't know much beyond that. I'm not especially skilled with machines. That's Sofieus's area of expertise.
Well, it seems pretty straightforward. There is a pedal. There is a steering wheel. There are some seat belts. I imagine that Salome has manufactured this vessel in a way that we might be able to understand it intuitively. And she sits down in the seat and buckles up and looks for an ignition switch.
Yeah. As you sit down, what Sofieus says is not wrong. It does seem like Salome has designed this for other people to easily be able to use. So as you sit down and you put on your seatbelt, you notice like almost from the weight of you sitting down, something activates and a panel shifts back and you can actually see the beachhead and the ocean in front of you. Like there's glass there.
Now I remembered.
Oh.
This is the thing I hate almost as much as flying.
Hey, Penelope, while the smart people figure out how to drive the ship, can you help me for a second? And you'll see Orkira is like sitting sideways in one of the seats, trying to buckle things because she can't sit back against the seat because of the wings and the tail and the spikes and everything. So she's trying to like sideways sit and get everything buckled. She's like, can you help me figure out how to take care of this?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, can you reach back there? I can't.
Yeah, I can. She kind of climbs over you. She's like climbing on you to help you buckle in.
I just patiently sit and let you do whatever you need.
Freely, this must be really nice for you being so small in such a tight space. Like this it must feel like a hotel in here. And
okay, hang on a second. Wait, first of all, I am a physical specimen of a halfling. That's the first thing. Second of all, it is nice. Like I can just reach up, don't bonk anything. Like it's fine. Yeah.
I just lean. I try to make sure no one hears me. I just lean close to Freely. You're always my favorite halfling. My favorite warlock. You're not my favorite halfling.
No,
you're my favorite
nobody. Everybody knows.
You're number one.
Like, come on, I wouldn't even believe that. But yeah,
Penelope's sorry. I mean, she's Penelope.
No, it's obviously like I wouldn't even show up to compete.
Okay, I just didn't want you to feel like
right.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? It's okay. We can still tell Harold he's your favorite because the leg
is Harold
thing.
A halfling?
No, warlock.
Why is he that height?
I mean, he's half giant, so he's still half of something. That counts as a
he's a
halfling,
quarter
right?
giant, right?
Well, is he a quarterling? Anyway, we'll talk about it on the way.
Anyways, you're my favorite warlock. Don't tell you.
Thank you. I won't tell anybody. Thank you, favorite. I love you too. Okay. Yeah, right.
I think Grant is over there sort of looking at all of the buttons and levers and playing with them, fiddling with things a bit, and also setting up reorganizing and adjusting and tweaking the place so he has a perch in here.
Yeah.
And occasionally will like breathe a very thin jet of lightning energy to melt and weld things together.
Yeah.
For a second, I totally thought that you were going to say that Grant was going to be unscrewing one of the knobs and then playing with it like Baby Yoda.
I'm pretty sure Sir Bissalot was doing that.
It's not over, yeah.
Well, so Briswalot is off with.
Oh yeah, he's in the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grant's pretty good with this stuff. Grant likes these toys and knows what he's doing a bit around them. Yeah.
So as you settle in, this vessel isn't the greatest on land. It's very much geared to be in the water. So she struggles a little bit on the sand, trying to like sort of roll forward. Salomon did tell you it was a amphibious vessel. So you know that it can get by, but it's a little bit kind of awkward and grindy as it starts to shift forward and jolt. I like the name Dave because we could call it
It's a Goliath Slayer.
Deep aquatic
I was gonna
vehicle
say,
of
exploration.
yes.
Wait, deep aquatic
Vehicular exploration.
vehicular exploration.
like
Yeah,
it.
there it is.
Perfect.
Thank you all for
Also,
coming
just
along with
'cause-
us. Literally coming along with
I
us.
love
Yeah.
that you took Orkira's dumb name and you made it smart. I'm so
Yeah.
impressed.
Yeah. I also just like saying vehicular.
It's
Good
'Cause
word.
I don't know why. It's just really
Just
satisfying. to
rolls right
say
off the tongue.
Agreed.
vehicular,
Agreed.
You know?
Also, this
Vehicular.
vessel is now doomed.
It's like a bad
Because it's
cyberpunk
been
name.
named?
Dave Vehicular.
It's true.
Deep
Or like an
aquatic
80s cop
vehicular
show. Yeah.
explorer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it does sound like something like
Explorer
do you
is
remember
better,
do you
yeah.
remember Baywatch Nights? Like that would be Dave Vehicular.
Why would we remember that?
So is
When
this
we're
our,
done,
our
Google it.
answer to Hal?
I
We now
sure
have
hope
Hal
not.
and Dave.
Yeah. I'm so wait, is it gonna come to
I'm
life? and
sorry,
turn on us?
Hal, I can't do that.
Yep.
Harold starts
No,
going
there's-
by Hal now.
There's no
Shows up in the-
AI or spirit haunting the vessel.
Wait
You
for
know, I just put machete next to all those chemicals, one bolt of lightning, and it's on.
Hold up, let's wire up.
Mhm.
Grant, who
Yeah.
is currently using lightning, turns and says,
You notice now as you like go to grab Machete's arms are once again kind of locked around your neck, which before she was kind of
Hey.
now her arms are kind of locked around your neck again.
I very quickly, I'll like tear off a piece of like my own like fabric, and I try and fashion like a tiny little pirate hat for her and put it on her head.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like,
She has,
ahoy,
like-
matey.
Her little pirate hat. It could even be like a little pirate bandana.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were like James almosting it, like
Looks like a
just this
buccaneer now.
ornate pirate hat out of like a piece of paper.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
All right. So you roll kind of forward. As soon as you hit the water, this vessel kind of shows what she can do. It becomes a lot more maneuverable. The steering wheel moves a little freer than it did when you were like kind of stuck in the sand. And you roll forward and then dunk, you start falling several feet at a time as the coast kind of falls away from you and you get deeper and deeper and deeper.
Okay,
Wow.
everyone. Sofieus is so excited. This is such a magnificent piece of machinery. She's never gotten to pilot before, and she's always wanted to be a pilot. And as she's sitting in the seat, she says, "Airlock secured. Everyone's buckled up. Side view mirrors adjusted."
As you say airlock secured, you notice that no one actually did secure the airlock.
Can somebody please secure the airlocks?
Was the first one in, not the last.
Thank you, Penelope.
No, it's been secure this entire time.
You pull a lever and the outer door slides shut. You pull another lever. This one takes some effort and it drains the water from this like sort of tube that the tube, by the way, extends. It's almost like kind of reminds me of like a nucleus. Like it extends from like the center ball out and then ends at the exoskeleton. So it actually is protected and covered by the exoskeleton. And yeah, it it empties the water, pushes it out by some mechanism. You feel the whole ball shudder while it does this. It's a little disturbing. There's some machinery at play taking that water and sucking it out. You actually hear almost like a vaguely, the sound would probably make Penelope giggle, like a vaguely farty sound as a bladder somewhere kind of fills up and then sprays the water out. So you just hear this like gentle, like farting sound.
Oh, Penelope isn't the only one giggling for sure.
Yeah.
Orkira, was that you?
I'm like, oh, Penelope.
Oh, B. Dave, do you have a prestidigitation just in case? It is a very small enclosed place.
She was talking yesterday about how much she liked poop, and I didn't think that it's okay. Great.
No,
Oh,
Avren,
great.
you would know
6
if it was.
adventures are on high protein diets. This is gonna go really well.
You can always tell. The smell is always very distinct.
Yeah, it's like kind of like I said, the whole ball kind of shudders and it lets out this farting sound as a bladder like fills with water and releases it and then fills again. And then you see the airlock is clear. It's clear of water. And you have a nice sort of barrier of air between you and the outside door. So you're reinforced by 2 doors.
And
For future reference, real quick, how many people can fit in the airlock?
In the airlock, you can fit 3 at a time.
Okay.
So we'll have to deploy 2 groups at a time if something is happening quickly, essentially.
I guess actually, well, I don't know what the rules are for. Orkira's like considered like.
I'm a medium creature. I'm just awkward.
Okay. Because I was gonna say,
Aren't we
like,
all?
Orkira and 2
yeah.
halflings.
Yeah. It would be.
I mean, technically
it would
we're
be a
medium
tight
too,
fit.
so yeah, we're the. I don't think halflings are size small.
It's designed for
Yeah.
2 people, but
Yep.
3 people can fit. Kind of like the backseat of a car. I guess depending on what car you have, you can make
Yeah.
3 people
We
fit. but
got
really, you
bench
just want
seats in
2.
the airlock.
Is this a BMW or are we in a Yugo? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Geo Metro.
Right.
So yeah, as the I don't know what it's called, like the sea shelf or whatever falls away, every once in a while you're rolling, you just dunk, like drop a few feet, almost like a roller coaster, and then roll a few more feet, and you hit this part of the ocean floor. So as when you hit the bottom of the ocean, which is where I guess like it's a little bit higher up than it was. Have you been near the ocean floor before? I think.
Yeah, when we met Junkers.
So you can actually still see the sun where you're at. The ocean is not that deep here, but it's still the ocean. So you're not in pitch black territory yet. But as you drop, you do notice that like some type of incandescent light, like almost kind of like a floodlight, activates at the top of the pod. It seems to be arcane in nature. And yeah, it's basically casting the spell light. So something up top lights up. You can see in front of you. You can see your 2 scouts ahead of you that are like in the water. How far ahead of the pod are they?
So
roughly
I
about
believe
20 feet.
as an octopus, that can go about 30 feet ahead. I mean, the goal for me was to have them go ahead of us, so
Oh, and then come
we
back
could
and
make
report.
sure that we were on the right track before we went.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't see them when the light turns on, but you do see like kind of the murky water flirting around in front of you. Give me a perception roll. Yes.
I would say also Freely is just absolutely glued to whatever corner of the display he can get, probably too far in front of Sofieus because he's like, I'm looking for Chonkers. He's out there. I know he's somewhere. Chonkers. Quit the whole time.
Yeah.
Really, sit down and put your seatbelt on.
But I mean, I might miss him. I go sit down.
We will see him again.
Sophius,
Yes.
did you put your turrets on the outside? Your turret thingy? You know, the thing that goes pew pew pew? The gun?
Well,
gun
no,
thing?
not yet.
Okay. I can always go
But-
out there.
No,
With
that's the plan. I have it right here.
Okay.
I thought we're doing that later when we're going after, because we're not going to shoot the turtle god.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're not sure. Why does it keep coming up? We're not shooting the turtle.
You're the one who was asking about it.
I was not. We're not killing the turtle.
You just asked about the guns.
Yeah, I just want to know about the guns. I'm not going to
Yeah.
kill a turtle.
No, Avren doesn't want to kill the turtle. He just wants to make sure that we're safe, and I'm going to make sure that I fashion this force ballista on this sea vessel as soon as we get to where we're going.
I'm just saying, I haven't wanted to kill like anything that we've had to kill. It just comes happen sometimes.
I think you kind of want to kill Sofieus a lot. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
You know,
It is the only thing you want to kill.
I learned some things about myself and the joy I took striking that thing down. It's true, but as I said, machete is
And
helping
yet
me.
it goes on loving you and considering you as a close friend. That is okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's a-
Like all of us.
You feel the way you feel.
That's
It's
a really
okay.
strange relationship.
Oh, he likes
He
me.
really likes you. You see the way he grapples onto your leg.
So how long till we get to where we're going?
The perception was 14. And also, I just wanted to check that, is this light beaming out around us? Like, are we now like a glowing orb that, predators and such can see?
Yes.
Is there a way that we can shield that and also make it so we can see out, because the ocean is super cool and
Yeah. So
we
there
can't
is
see
like
when
a-
there's light in the cabin?
Yeah. So you could turn off the internal light. The light I was referring to is an external one that casts
Okay.
kind of like light in front of you.
Okay.
Other creatures can see that. There is a switch to turn it off, but then it will be a little bit more difficult to navigate because it is a little bit darker, murkier down here. But maybe with dark vision, some of you will be fine. And like I said, whenever someone's inside the pilot seat, like a sort of metal shutter kind of comes up, and you can actually see through like a half circular shaped window from where you are, like seated in the passenger seats. You can still see out. But yeah, you don't have the best view in the house.
Did you want perception checks from all of us or just from?
Just from Sofieus, since she's driving.
Oh,
Okay.
16.
16. Perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, so with the 16, you feel like you have a decently good lay of the land. Now, go ahead and roll a d20 and add your sleight of hand and your survival modifier.
Oh,
Ooh.
shit.
We have the right pilot.
Okay. Get out of here, dice. I can't see my stats. Sorry. So that's 14 plus 10.
Okay. So
I got sleight of
24.
hand. What was the other one?
Survival.
Plus 1.
Okay.
20, 25.
25. Perfect. So yeah, you're able to navigate this thing pretty well. As you kind of go in the general direction that you think you're supposed to go, using kind of like natural markers and Avren's recollection of what the coastline looked like and the map, you're able to kind of make pretty good time, especially with how well you rolled. This thing really starts going. Like once it gets in there and it's underwater, it's a lot faster than even a galloping horse. You do start to hear like kind of a high-pitched whine coming from the panel as you start to kick it up into high gear, but you don't smell smoke and nothing explodes. You don't hear any cracking sounds or anything like that. But you do hear like kind of a high-pitched whine as you start to pick up speed and move at a faster pace. But you're really booking it. You make your way through kelp forests and what are they called? Anemones and like a beautiful coral reef as it starts to get dark outside. Yes, B Dave.
Would it be fair to say we can take a short rest at least during this trip?
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You can definitely take a short rest as you're kind of like enjoying the ocean sights and moving forward at an expeditious pace. You run into some difficulties here and there. Mostly, like I said, in the heavily like kelped area you were in before when you met Chonkers. That part's pretty difficult to navigate. There's a couple places where it almost seems like your vessel might get stuck, but just because there's so much foliage there. But you manage to kind of weave and bob your way through, and you make it a majority, like halfway to where you need to go, pretty quickly. You're making
During that
very
short
good speed.
rest, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But I realized I do have water breathing as a ritual. I
Okay,
would like to cast that on everyone, please, if possible.
yeah, of course.
Hey.
So everyone gets water breathing. You're about halfway to your destination when Griffin and the homunculus return.
What did I see through Griff's eyes?
Yeah. So I guess like this would be a good time to debrief. So Griff saw a few things. Actually, let's get a perception roll and a stealth roll for Griff as well as the homunculus.
He has a name.
One that's very hard to say and spell. 15 for me.
So Griff has a bunch of goodies as an octopus that they could use if they needed to be extra stealthy.
Okay.
But let's see what happens here.
Because octopuses are cool.
Is Griff a tiny octopus or is Griff like a full-size octopus?
It's a small octopus.
Okay. So adorable
you-
little.
You said perception and what?
Perception and stealth rolls.
Oh, okay.
You know, Orkira, you all arrived in a small sphere, and now you're underwater in a sphere. So that's like full circle.
Did you hatch from an egg? I've wondered that. Like, I mean, you're like only like part dragon, so
I'm not a dragon at all. I'm dragon-born. There's no dragon. There's zero. I got
it's
rid of all.
literally in the title. So, like, so if you were
There's
born
your
a dragon,
20
Dragon
Okay.
born.
on the stealth.
Okay, perfect.
a halfling born.
Perception.
We'll talk about this later. Also, yeah, I do appreciate the theme of circles and spheres. Although
Not 20 on the perception.
Hey.
Congratulations, somebody in the chat got an octopus nat 20.
Yay!
the Kraken 20.
Cephalopod.
We're not giving away octopuses, chat.
No.
I mean, the legendary bundle includes the monster manual, which
Even
has
small
an
ones aren't
octopus
cute.
in it.
True.
So
True, in a way.
technically,
Manner of
And
speaking.
you can name him Hank if you want to.
You've rolled
You
a
should.
twinticle.
You name him
absolutely.
Hank
And
if
you
want.
should.
Hank.
Yeah.
Or Griff in honor of the natural 20.
There it
So
is.
we got dual 20s for Griff. What did we get for
So Sir
Tentacle Eye?
Sir Biscuit.
The
That was close.
abomination.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Who is a
Mhm.
tentacle with an eye that is now
Mhm.
growing a foot
Mhm.
out of its eye. Rolled a 22 for its stealth check
Okay.
and 15 for perception.
Okay, perfect. So the two of them kind of like swim forward in the darkness, and I think both of you have that where you can see through your familiar's eyes. And this happens like they reach the site, I guess. So this wouldn't be them returning back. They reach the site when you're about halfway there, because they set out before you. So even though you're going very quickly, you know. You see like in the murky depths, like this is a lot. It's a lot darker down here than where your vessel is currently at. But there is like a light phosphorescent coming off of some type of growth on the ocean floor. You also see like a lot of old like type of mollusks and those what is it called, that whorl, like a helix type pattern here and there, from like shells and things like that littered on the ocean floor. And you see a large structure ahead of you. Because you rolled so high on perception and you go completely unnoticed, there is some movement in the ocean. You see something off in the distance, but the biggest thing is your senses, or I should say like your familiar senses are almost overwhelmed by like this like groaning and rumbling, almost like that of a creature in distress down here. And every once in a while, you just you see it actually, a big roiling, almost like a jet stream in the ocean ahead of you, almost like a geyser is the best way to describe it. Directly in front of you, there is a very large sort of structure that's dark and covered in some type of algae and moss, or not moss, algae and barnacles and things like that. Do your familiars approach it?
Yes.
I think so. Yes.
So as they get
caution.
closer, they notice it actually looks like not like a man-made structure, but like a discarded turtle shell. But it is huge, gigantic. All of
Whoa.
you could fit in here several times over. It's much larger than the size of your vessel, and it's in some places like adorned on the inside, almost like maybe it was used as some type of dwelling at some point. You're able to pass through it unnoticed with your stealth rolls. You don't see any people or anyone around you. And then as you continue to move through this dark structure, you do see like off in the distance, like the sounds and the sort of glint of some type of struggle happening up ahead. Your vision's obscured because every few minutes, once again, you just see almost like a geyser bursting up, and the ocean boils every time this happens, and the vibrations are almost like overwhelming for this like tiny squid and this tiny tentacle, and the force of it almost pushes them back like just a couple of inches, and you see like just the smallest glimpse of like a large dark underground mountain, or underwater, sorry, mountain ahead of you.
Avren.
Yeah,
So
you're driving great, by the way, as
Oh.
always.
Oh, well, thank you.
Are we driving underwater? I forget. Are we swimming?
Technically, we are driving.
All right.
So I was just chatting a bit with Sir Biswalat, and it looks like we are coming up on a sort of underwater structure. It's made out of a giant turtle shell. I was wondering if once we get up to it, you might be able to maybe read it or detect some kind of energy coming from it. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Yeah, I'm a bit rusty on all that, but I think my favorite warlock also can sense some things. I may freely might be able to ping. I don't know why I'm saying ping, but I might be able to like send out like a pulse once we're nearby to maybe detect anything nefarious.
And also, maybe Penelope, she's so good with nature. Once we get closer, she might be able to investigate what this structure is.
Ooh, wait, Penelope, can you turn into a shark?
Yeah, sure. I've seen one of those before.
Okay, well, like I don't need to breathe, so technically I could like go out there and hold on to your tail if like it like think if we need a scrap.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's. I've literally never.
Currently,
I've
all
never-
of us can breathe in the water.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's well. I don't breathe, so
No, Alyndra,
Wait, do I have to
wanted
breathe
to
now?
be able to have his like, oh, I don't have to breathe thing. No, let him have it. It's fine.
hey, listen, it's the one thing I can do. Also, I look real scary.
I want to see this underwater mountain. It sounds so pretty.
Yeah, I'm concerned. So, Sofieus, you don't see the turtle god yet. Then.
No, I don't see a god. I just see a giant turtle shell. I'm
mean-
worried, Avren.
Turtles pull their heads into their shells. I mean, she could just be in the shell.
No, this looks like someone was living in it.
I mean,
Yes.
turtles live in the shells.
No, not like it was.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, that just made me laugh. Like, well, yeah, the turtle lived in it.
Yeah.
Duh.
The confidence,
Hello.
way too confident about that response.
Come on. Yeah.
very low
Alyndra,
intelligence,
Like a
okay?
turtle was living in it. Hello.
Like, keep up, Alyndra. Come on.
You do know how turtles work, right?
I'm not gonna have to
Are
explain
you sure
this.
you're not confusing it with hermit crabs?
Especially because sea turtles do not retract into their shells. I'm aware of all of this. Freely is it. Okay.
The funny fun of playing a character with a low intelligence is you get to say fun, dumb things. I'm right there with you, B. Dave. It's great.
Yeah, this is all completely transparent to
We're-
him.
Where would we be without Alyndra?
Yeah, no, right.
We're all dumb.
And Sophia's. I mean, the two of them,
Yeah, that's true.
basically.
I just understand mechanics. That's it.
Hey, listen. That's
All
really
right,
we got.
someone's no longer my favorite halfling.
Were you like narrating what you were seeing? Do we all kind of know what you're familiar
Yeah,
saw?
I would certainly relay it to try and explain that there's this whirl on the floor. There's some phosphorescence, which is often to be expected, but usually is at a slightly higher depth. In the very, very bottom of the sea, you don't often see a lot of phosphorescence because the creatures don't need to see the light, and also they're not particularly lured by it. And there's this. Yeah, I can do marine biology for hours. I'm not going to. Also, there is the enormous shell that looks like something other than a turtle was living in it, but it does seem to be abandoned at this point. It did look like it was currently abandoned, right? It didn't look like they were still living in it.
There was no one in it.
Okay, but did it look like it was in use still, or did it look like it was?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Couple tiny little hermit crabs in this giant shell. We've struck gold.
And one clownfish.
16.
Of course.
I'm sorry, what?
16.
16. Yeah, you can't, it looked dark, like no one is currently in it, but there was nothing to indicate no one had been in it recently.
Okay.
Can I commune with the turtle again? Can I send out a ping for myself?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try really concentrate on the turtle again, or the turtles.
Yeah. Go
Avren?
ahead and
Hello, Avren. Are you there?
give me a nature check.
Why, yes, Avren, I am.
The turtle's on your left.
Is that you, God?
No, it's a turtle. It's turtles all the way down. You
They're
want
all
what kind of
gods.
check?
Are you there, God? It's me, Avren.
Nature.
Are you there, God? It's me, Avren. I'm me. Ooh, 19.
Yeah, you almost feel like let's see. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Then my head explodes. Oh, I'm warlock though. 18.
18, yeah. So perfect. So you take 4 psychic damage as you just feel pain and panic.
Something's wrong. Something's very wrong.
And it feels a little bit like your lungs are burning.
Do we need to go?
And we need to save it now. We need to save it now.
Just grab Penelope by the hand and head towards the airlock, like the 2-stage thing. Like, all right,
Mhm.
time to go to work.
So
you-
I have a
you def-
question.
Yes.
With a familiar, you can cast touch spells.
Mhm.
Yep.
If I were to be able to get Griff to this creature, would I be able to? Oh, is water breathing a touch spell? No. Is it?
I don't think so because you cast
No,
it.
it's
you cast it on a
not.
bunch
It's
of
at
people.
range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind. Sorry.
That's okay.
Darn.
Did any of your familiars actually see the turtle, or was the assumption that the
There's
the
signs of
pushback the
conflict.
the spray that's happening and that being pushed back, that's where things
And a
are coming from,
grumbling and a.
Mhm.
yeah.
The
And you can
groaning from the
like
geysers.
clash of metal as well.
Okay. If I see Preely and Penelope heading towards the airlock, I am also unbuckling. I'm like, I'm coming. Yep. Let's do this.
I'm like, is this the type of thing where we can activate it inside, or somebody she's got to activate it from the panel? Presumably
no, you
inside.
can
Otherwise, the
activate it
pirate could never
inside.
leave.
Yeah.
I'm like, right.
Yeah, there's a lever
Cursed
that you can.
vessel. The pilot
Other-
can never leave.
Otherwise, you'd be stuck inside forever.
Yep.
Um,
Sophius, this is just your home now. Enjoy.
The moment
You're my passengers every Tuesday.
Inside
we're
the
in one.
the water lock, pull
Yep.
the lever, and this time you don't hear the farting sound, but you hear
No.
like a and water starts to raise up past your ankles, past your knees, past your waist, and suddenly you're underwater.
I would just say as it starts to fill up, I look at Penelope and I say, go as fast as you can. Don't wait for us.
I swim fast. I swim fast.
It's still kind of, even though I know she said water breathing, I kind of unconsciously panic a little, like.
Yeah, it's a little.
It's
an uncomfortable sensation.
Oh, it's that scene from The Abyss.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't even say it.
Remember,
I literally
you were
think of that
born
every
like
time.
this.
The first time someone has water breathing on them, that
Yeah.
getting over
Yeah.
that moment of
You spent 9 months like this.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
You just
whoa,
have a-
weird.
That guy was just
Have a
for
moment.
he's just there for him.
yeah.
Kids today will never know the struggle. Go watch The Abyss, kids. But
Yeah,
I
we
digress.
need that guy to talk to us through 2020.
Yep.
So you
Sorry, Jasmine.
you're fine. So you have that like moment where you try to hold your breath, and then when you realize you can't hold it anymore, you breathe in and you're fine. But that is like a tough sensation to get over. You
Salty.
rotate the sort of like circular lock on the outer water lock, and when you push it open, you're in the ocean. You shut it behind you, spin it, it locks in place, and now it's ready to sort of like make that farty sound and let 3 more people in or 2 more people.
Definitely like swim past the
Yeah. The windshield.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I-
So let me see. Penelope, you turned into a shark?
No.
No. Okay, so you're still Penelope.
Yes.
Perfect. So you see like Penelope and Freely like outside the windshield kind of wave at you, and then yeah, do you wait for everyone else?
Oh no! Start moving.
Yeah.
Halflings
and
of action.
You see
May,
him like
may I
kind of
ask
like
a mechanics question?
yes, of course.
What's the ruling on casting underwater for verbal components?
In my world you can't do it.
Okay.
Wait,
Uh-oh.
what?
Unless you can figure out a creative way to do it.
Why did
if
you
that
ask
makes
the
sense.
question?
Well, no better to know now than
Yeah, because it's
then-
it's determining whether or not I stay in the submersible. And
I
What
can't
we
do
need
anything.
you to do is
Oh,
maintain concentration, or we're all going to die.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh.
There are. I will give you a hint. There are
what
some
everything's not concentration.
interesting ways you could cast in this location if you got creative.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh yeah, shells are domed. Potentially.
okay. Oh,
Well, you
Orkira
know,
slightly
not
panicking.
to get too meta about this, but the verbal component is the vibration of the words, which does still happen underwater. It's distorted, but it does happen.
Yeah, it's more
I mean,
about being able
yeah.
to do it with your mouth full of water.
Alyndra
Right.
also signs, and I don't know if that counts or not.
Yeah, I would say that could count. Of
Okay.
course. Mhm.
Because the Ghostwise halfling clan monkey mouse signs.
Yeah.
That
So-
speaks.
Although
So
that's
before-
the somatic component. Well, but
Yeah,
never mind,
Well,
sorry,
no, there's a somatic, but there's also that's the the language of usage.
Can we talk underwater though to each other, or is that no go? Even if you're gonna say like, and I'll totally understand like if verbal.
I would understand you could communicate in
Okay.
some. Yeah, yeah.
So, just before I left with the halflings, I would have taken off my bag and taken out my book and given my bag to Sofieus and said, "Can you put this in your bag of holding so that everything stays dry?" And
yes, of course.
and so I'm taking with me my diamonds and the book because I think that's all I need. And we go outside, and the first thing I'm going to try to do is cast light on the book so that I have a source of light because I don't have dark vision. And when nothing happens, I'm going to look over at Penelope and be like, there's a problem.
Let's say Freely also brews out the sword in his arm because it does glow with the moonblade, so it's a source of light.
I'm gonna try to like strap myself to the outside of the ship so I don't leave Sofieus.
Actually, okay, so it's Freely, Penelope, and Orkira going towards this mountain, this turtle shell mountain.
Yeah. And I'm
Um,
frantically trying to figure out how to cast spells on the way.
Avren, could you please sit in the pilot seat? And I'm going to go outside with my forced ballista.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. She turns the lever, goes into the airlock. She has underwater breathing cast on her, and she feels very uncomfortable, but she knows her daughter's very, very good with this. So she trusts that it's going to be okay and takes one last deep breath. And everything's fine. And she goes outside, and her force ballista that's chained to her utility belt floats, and she just thinks how novel that is. It's not so heavy as it usually is. Walks onto the side of the sea vessel, pulls out a hole saw from her utility belt, and drills 2 holes into the outer gyroscope, and plants the 2 legs from the force ballista onto the outer gyroscope. Now, with the outer gyroscope kind of rotating around the inner gyroscope, there is an element of surprise for this force ballista, but she's willing to take her chances.
Okay. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. $21.
You managed to do it. It won't be very accurate, but you didn't destroy the structural integrity of the vessel. Because a bad roll on that would have meant the whole thing would have crumpled at this depth. But you managed not to do that.
Oh God. I'm so happy I didn't do that.
I was trying not to be meta, but when you're like, I start drilling the hole, I'm like,
well, because it's an outer gyroscope, right? Like I know it's messing with the integrity of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So good. I'm glad that I rolled high on that.
Yeah,
long swim home.
Yeah, so you don't completely like destroy this like sort of structure that stabilizes like the inner ball and kind of relieves some of the pressure on it. However, it's also not going to be as aerodynamic now. The vessel's going to move a little bit slower than it did in the past. It can be a little bit more difficult to maneuver.
Okay.
But sorry, that threw me off. Is Jen okay? There we
I'm
are.
good. Yep.
Okay. So what do you all do?
Panic. I'll
Freely
be
has to
swimming.
stop like the hold from like when he gave him the thumbs up, he's like as fast as his little halfling arms can carry him, he's going.
Yeah, I'll be swimming along, but yeah, Orkira is frantically trying to figure out. She keeps just trying to cast light and it's not working, and she's trying to figure out what she can do because
Roughly what depth are we at? I mean, I realize it's because past 50 feet you can't tell from the sunlight, but I mean,
Yeah.
but there were gauges on the vessel, so do we have any idea how deep we are?
You're at about 350 feet.
20,000 leagues under D&D.
I'm a big fan of Captain Nemo, so this vessel is very inspired by something Captain Nemo would have.
Perfect. Exactly.
That's so great, Jen. Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Flawless.
I figured it out. Out.
What did you figure out?
I figured something out. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Hey, all right, that's a
Okay.
win.
Well,
Yeah.
yep.
I will say when Freely gets within 60 feet of this, whatever this is, I will hit the divine sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Which undead, celestials, fae or fiends, or anything that is unhallowed.
So you get a very strong just like ping on your radar of holiness, of a good entity. Well, I guess you didn't cast detect good or evil, but yeah, you feel like this overwhelming, almost like all-encompassing essence that like fills your mind. And it feels warm and comforting. And it's not far from you.
Head towards it. From any I was gonna say from anywhere in particular, or like the mountain, like I mean the shell or whatever it is, I go towards it.
Yeah, so there's like two things. Okay, so let me describe this again. So there is a large discarded shell that is kind of like in the distance, like I guess like closer to you, and then in the distance you see, like I said, like every few minutes it's like the ocean is boiling. There's just a lot of disturbance. These bubbles just kind of rush up, and you see like a dark, murky, almost like just massive form. It looks like a mountain to you from where you're at. You hear like a vague clinking and clashing of something happening over there. And every once in a while, the entire ocean floor kind of shudders and you actually, now that you and Penelope are close enough, you see every once in a while just giant pieces of what look to be rocks and like pieces of building and ballast that come soaring through the ocean and boosh hit the ground near you, and everything kind of shakes when this happens, flung with great force from somewhere off in the distance.
I have discovered I have exactly one spell that does not require a verbal component, but the good news is that spell is Green Flame Blade. So we're still in business.
Yeah, very nice.
Actually, knowing I sense something and I can't tell them, I cast Green Flame Blade on my sword, even though it was glowing. It should like visibly be different, and I'm very much like like towards that.
I'm following wherever
Using
Freely is
the-
pointing.
The
Yeah.
airstrip,
Absolutely.
the airstrip type of thing. You're like out there with the earmuffs, like
Yeah, exactly.
How fast is the ship moving in relation to everybody else, or is it pointless to stay in the ship at this point?
you could stay in if you want. You would be able to follow pretty closely behind them if you wanted to.
Though I will make the case that we don't want to risk getting the ship damaged.
Oh,
I'm
it's
gonna
not
watch-
far.
I mean, the
Avren,
ship
you
does
can-
have weapons, though. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
even if you want to go and help them, I will stay with the ship.
I'm not leaving you in the ship. No,
Oh.
that's not. We don't separate. It's
She
gonna be
looks
fine.
at her force ballista and she says, "I appreciate it. That would be okay though. But I like your company."
I'm worried about me.
I think you would be fine.
No.
Well, then you can stay here with me.
Okay.
You can help me make sure that we maintain the balance of this vessel. Now that I have fashioned my force ballista onto the outer exoskeleton, we seem to be floating at a slightly unsteady pace now.
This looks like this needs tightening. So I'm just gonna. I'm good at this. I just start like trying to be helpful.
Where did you get one of those? Did you get that from Whittle?
No.
Salome?
No, I did borrow one off Whittle. Yeah. She did like paste all her tools onto one thing. It was really weird. Anyways, so it's fun.
So
How's everyone outside doing? Are they alive?
Penelope and Freely are in the lead, since they kind of went ahead. So yeah, you see this, like you see the murky ocean bottom, and actually now that you are looking, you notice there is like a light phosphorescent glow coming off of the ocean floor. There's a lot of like shells, like just kind of ancient fossils and things like that embedded here in the ground. The ground's almost like kind of rocky beneath your feet. And now that you're actually looking, you notice that the moss, this like phosphorescent glowing substance, doesn't look to be growing out of the ground. It looks like something that has drifted down there. And as you're swimming past, you notice some of them are almost like bundled together, almost like a group, like flowers or something like that. But there's so many of them that they litter the ocean floor, and they just give off this very light kind of glow as they do.
They're like
On
loose
your-
bundles.
Yeah, like almost like bouquets of flowers that have been thrown down.
do they
like
look
hundreds
like
of
any
them.
sort of animal that I've seen before?
No, it's definitely a flora and not a fauna.
Okay.
As we're swimming along, can I just scoop one up? Because
Yeah.
Orkira doesn't have dark vision, so she's looking for light.
Like,
Yeah.
do they look like offerings to a god?
They do look something like that. They look like some kind of favor. Alyndra would actually probably pick up on that. It almost looks like a paper lantern type of celebration, except with something a little bit more organic.
Is this the same stuff that was in the pools at the the carnival?
Yeah, it's actually very similar to that.
Okay.
But yeah, there's so many that have drifted to the bottom of the ocean that it gives off this like very gentle purple glow. And as you grab a bundle or two, Orkira, it does cast like a very dim light within 10 feet of you. So Penelope, Freely, as you kind of move ahead, the danger becomes more imminent the closer you get. You do see the ocean roiling, the sounds of like kind of metal banging against metal get louder. You do hear like almost like a unsettling cry of distress. Don't think human, think animal. I'm not even going to attempt it, but something deeply unsettling you hear. And you see, like, I guess at this distance you'd see it almost like a tinge in the water. Roll a nature check, Penelope. I feel like Penelope would know what this is.
16.
Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the water here has taken on like a different quality, and the color's different. You can almost taste it too. There's blood in the water. Now that you're at this distance, it's the going's a little bit more hairy. Every once in a while, just like a large piece of, like I said, rock, or it looks like whatever they've managed to load into something comes flying down at you and hitting not 10 feet from where you are, cracking the shells and kind of sending like a large blast almost of like shrapnel around you. And as you get closer, the large chunks of rock and, like I said, pieces of building, like ballast and stuff, become more frequent. You see the ground around you is pockmarked with these kind of like stray cannons, for lack of a better word. And then and then on your left there's still the very large discarded turtle shell. You can see on the outside, now that you're closer, that there's actually some paint on it and some form of adornment. Inside you can actually see a little bit of light, and then ahead of you it's just like kind of a clear shot. The water here is like really agitated, so it's a little bit tough to see even with dark vision, just because there's so much particulate in the water from all of this like booming and blasting. But yeah, so as you move forward, I guess give me let me say, how do you want to approach this? Because I don't feel like you would run into.
Yeah, he would. Especially if the good feeling is over there and bad things are happening to the good feeling, he 100% would.
Yeah.
In fact, if he could make it all the way to the seafloor and literally run, he would do so.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I don't have freedom from movement, so as fast as he can.
Yeah, of course.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm following as quickly as possible, both because I got to keep up with everybody, but also I'm assuming that Freely knows where we're going and Penelope knows where we're going, so I'm following the two of them.
Okay, perfect. Since they're taking the lead, Freely and Penelope.
Love that you're like, surely you wouldn't just run into this dangerous thing.
I think she knows you're running into danger, but once again, like,
I just want to give you the chance before I'm like, you run head first into a battlefield where cannonballs are flying everywhere. And then players like, no, why would I do that?
No, consent is sexy, 1,000%.
And totally normally Orkira would be like, no, except two things. One, she has to stay close to Freely and Penelope, and two, there's a god that's dying up ahead.
Yeah.
And gestures broadly at the last 6 months.
Yep. Yeah, double time it.
Yeah.
So Freely and Penelope, give me perception checks.
Ooh, it's a nat 20.
Hey! This is the time.
I was hoping for one. I got it was a 19, so dirty 20. Dirty 20.
Okay, dirty 20. You both look at each other and dart in opposite directions as right in the middle of you, goosh, lands a big jagged piece of rock that splits into 3 pieces and goes rolling behind you. Orkira, you see them moving out of the way, so you're actually able to get out of the way as well. And you move forward. Give me stealth rolls.
Just the two of them, or do you want me as well?
Yeah, because I have it in my mind that they're kind of taking the lead on this, and everyone else is following behind them. So
Okay.
25.
14.
Perfect.
Have to be sneaky.
You're the
yeah.
sneaky one.
So freely, almost like this, you see something in the murky water, and you can actually kind of see like the way the current's moving, because there's so much particulate in it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like you could see like the swirls of white where you could tell like how the water's moving in this like sea of just like really murky. You see movement, but it doesn't see you, and it moves very close to you towards Penelope.
Is it just like a shark because there's blood in the water, or is there something else?
It doesn't look shark-like to you. No, bigger, or I guess. Well, it depends on the size of the shark, really. I mean, there's so many different kinds of shark. It doesn't. I will say this: it does not look remotely shark-like to you.
Got it. But it's
Yeah.
creeping up on her.
Yeah, and it moves very close to you while it's creeping up on her because it has no idea that you're there. You rolled so high on your stealth, it just like.
I realize we're short on time, but it's getting blasted the moment it comes
Mhm.
to pass. It comes like green flame blades. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
the green flame
This
blade.
does not feel like this isn't the source of my happy feeling, right? I don't want to accidentally smite a god. I only do that on purpose.
No, it's not a god.
Okay, right. Mm-hmm.
The green flame blade erupts. You see it swing down, and we'll find out what happens next on Silver and Steel.
Ah!
Smash
Kill
that.
chonkers.
Oh my god, that would be evil.
Just on my knees on the bottom of the water.
Oh no!
It all comes back to Star Wars, doesn't it?
It's just true.
World,
Yep.
World of Warcraft too.
I feel like we should
Little
just
bit of
call
Murloc
this the Star
happening.
Wars
That's a-
episode.
Maybe
True.
think Murlocs.
The holiday special.
Sea Wars. Sea
Yeah,
Wars.
Sea Wars.
Sea Wars.
Yep.
Sea
Also-
Wars done.
Thank you so much for joining us. This was so much fun. Let's go around and get some plugs and sign-offs. Todd, take it away.
Oh god. I'm the creative manager at D&D Beyond, which means like I'm like, hey, that's creative. Let's do that, and then we do it. It's nuts. You can find me on Twitter. I'm making dad jokes and really irrelevant observations about Dungeons and Dragons, and sometimes the Mandalorian. A lot of Mandalorian. So yeah, that's about it.
Very nice. Hope.
I am Hope LaVelle. You can follow me on Twitter at the Hope LaVelle. If you like D&D stuff, I like to talk about D&D stuff.
Nice. Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond, which means I hang out by D&D Beyond things and I talk to people and run games for people. So come by and say hi and play a game with me. You can also follow me on Twitter as Obo Lauren, where I talk about all the same things that those people talk about, and occasionally food and oboe stuff. So
I like Oba stuff.
Mhm.
I enjoy
mean,
it.
I
haven't
do
had it
because of
much-
you.
I haven't had much of a chance to do it lately, but it's fun.
Meagan.
Meagan Kenreck. You can find me on Twitter where I talk about D&D and how I can fashion things into legs. Crab legs, centaurs, squiggly legs. You can also
Heralds.
find me on Heralds.
Harold's leg.
You can also find me on Twitch at Meagan Kenreck.
Awesome. Jen.
Hey, I am Jen Kretchmer. You can find me on Twitter as DreamWisp. You can find me on Twitch as DreamWispJen, and I am the creator of the Accessibility and Tabletop Kit, which is in my pinned tweet. You can, I'm an actor, producer, writer, all the things. But also coming up, I am participating in World Builders, which is an amazing charity that does an annual event at the holidays to benefit Heifer International. We are going to be doing a bunch of really cool stuff. There are auctions, there are giveaways, and there are a bunch of panels. I will be on panels next week on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, all at 11 a.m. Central Time. It's going to be over on Patrick Rothfuss's channel and on the World Builders channel. They're about a bunch of different topics. You can check it out at worldbuilders.org. It's an amazing cause, and it's a wonderful event. I look forward to it every year. I'm so excited to be part of it. And please come hang out. Please join us. We're doing a panel on Monday called How I Dealt with the Total Blank Show That Was 2020. Tuesday is going to be talking about creativity, capitalism, and connecting, which is working as a geek professional. And then on Thursday, we're going to play some Among Us. So it's going to be a good time.
Cool. B-Day.
B-Dave Walters, I say words about things, somewhere doing something 7 days a week, although I'm going to have a little more time on my hands now these days. So follow me on Twitter at B-Dave Walters. Also participating in World Builders, and it occurred to me that I don't know that these games are announced. Therefore, I'm not going to tell you what I'm playing or with who, but I will be playing in a game for World Builders noon this Saturday, and then I will be running a game for World Builders on the 11th at noon. Both of those will be featuring people that you know and love, and you definitely will not want to miss. And also some other surprises that we can't tell you about yet.
Lots of surprises, lots of stretch goals that are super cool. If you are a fan of sci-fi, fantasy, books, check out what's going on auction, because there's one-of-a-kind stuff. It's really, really incredible. And it's for a really phenomenal cause and a wonderful charity. So,
And for our podcast listeners at home, because I'll make sure that the podcast goes up before this weekend, can you give that URL one more time?
it is worldbuilders.org. They are World Builders on Twitter, I believe. Otherwise, they're World Builders Inc. But yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Grand old time.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Wait,
And
I
you.
think that was everyone. Oh yeah, and hi, hello. I'm Jasmine, that bronze girl Bhullar. You can find me daily on my Twitch stream, where I put on, I think, a pretty great show. And you can find me on Twitter, where I put on an even better show. I think I'm somewhat entertaining. So come check it out.
I love you
the
with
pitch.
I love you with the heat of 1,000 suns. That is all I have to say. Just to the end of all things, Jasmine Bhullar. To the end.
That's it. I think
We love you.
Yeah, I think I'm a pretty cool person to spend some time with on Twitch. You know, if you're gonna spend time with somebody here,
I think
I think I'm a prime choice.
I think every Tuesday for these 2 hours are some of my favorite times during the week, and it's because you're the DM, and thank you.
Also, Meagan has already contributed more to this stream than Captain Phasma did to 3 movies. Or 2,
Yeah,
so-
once again, like our podcast listeners at home, you need to take a moment and just go look at this amazing helmet that you're rocking, Megan. It's amazing.
Hilarious.
They did Phasma dirty.
They did. They
They
did.
did it
Twice.
super dirty.
Twice.
Super dirty.
They
Twice.
didn't get the message.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? Let's
Yep.
dump on her again.
Yeah, let's make it worse. You do know that's worse.
In the most unceremonious way. Oops.
Yep.
She
Sorry.
tripped and fell to her death, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be the after show. That'll be the next podcast we record. Yes, so I know we're already over. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
No, it was fantastic. Somebody needed to say it,
Mm-hmm.
and now I need to say this. Have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves, and take care of each other.
Love you all.
Wash your hands.
Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is available now on D&D Beyond. Purchase before January 5th to unlock the Cauldron dice set, as well as character sheet backdrops, themes and frames.